The wife no longer feels ashamed to devalue her husband in front of the children. This isn't her personality. This is the end of the relationship. 1. A story from life. Yesterday, a family was standing in the supermarket. The man was taking longer than usual to choose meat for dinner. The wife walked over, snatched the package out of his hands, threw it in the cart, and said in front of the children, "Give me that, you can't even pick out meat properly." The man stayed silent. A boy around 10 years old exchanged a look with his sister and dropped his eyes. In that moment, the son received a clear message. Mom is in charge. Dad is someone who doesn't have to be respected. And the husband received another, "You are nothing." And what was going on inside the wife at that moment? If someone had asked her, she probably would have said, "I'm tired. He always takes forever. I don't have time to wait." But deeper down, there was something else. Fear. Because being in charge is hard. And she was angry at him for making her be the one in charge. 2. Observation. Many people think that if a person doesn't respond to rudeness, they're strong. No. If a person stays silent when they're called incompetent in front of their children, they aren't keeping the peace. They are losing themselves. And the children are losing their bearings. They don't need a mother who controls everything. They need a father whose word carries weight. When the mother nullifies that weight in front of them, she is raising a son who will let any woman wipe her feet on him, and a daughter who will look for a husband she can constantly criticize. This dynamic works in any relationship. It doesn't matter who is the man and who is the woman. What matters is who gave up their authority and who was forced to take it. 3. Psychological insight. The problem here isn't the wife's personality. The problem is the husband's exhaustion. He stopped being someone worth following. Not because he's a bad person, but because over the years he gave up ground. First he agreed just to avoid an argument. Then he went quiet to keep things calm. Then he stopped making decisions. You decide. And the woman decided. Completely. And now she doesn't respect him. Because a person cannot respect someone who handed over their own power to them. This isn't about men and women. It's about anyone who finds themselves in the position of, "I have to decide everything because you refuse to." She will criticize not because she's mean, but because she's scared to be the one in charge. And she's angry that he put her in that role. 4. The non-obvious fact. Divorce in this situation often doesn't happen because of the big fights. It happens because of the silence. The wife humiliates the husband in front of the children. He tolerates it. Then she stops respecting him altogether. He stops wanting intimacy. She feels the coldness. She starts to suspect infidelity. She provokes him. He retreats into his phone. Eventually, the phrase comes out, "Let's get a divorce. I can't do this anymore." And both genuinely don't understand. It didn't start with an affair or with debt. It started with that moment in the supermarket when she snatched the meat and he stayed silent. And both are left with the feeling, how did we get here? Even though the answer lay in 100 other silent days just like it. 5. The moment of clarity. Right now you're thinking, she shouldn't act like that. And you'd be right. But the truth is, another person won't start respecting you until you stop being afraid of their reaction. Until you say calmly, without yelling, "You don't speak to me like that in front of the children. We'll discuss it at home. Here, I am making the decision." She will explode. 3 times she will explode. But on the 4th she will exhale. Because deep down, every person who has been forced to carry everything on their own is waiting for that calm no. Waiting to be relieved of that burden. But here's the question. Do you respect yourself enough to say it? 6. What to do if you recognized yourself. If this text resonated with you, don't expect everything to change tomorrow. Don't try to turn the situation around with a single phrase if you've been silent for years. Start small. Say no in a safe situation. Not in public, not in front of the children. At home. Calmly. Just, "I disagree." No justifications. No explanations of why you're right. Just, no. She will test you. Not because she wants to humiliate you, but because she doesn't believe that change is possible. Your job is to hold steady. Every time you calmly set a boundary, you aren't picking a fight. You are reclaiming your place. First in your own eyes, then in hers, then in the eyes of your children. This isn't a quick process, but there is no other way. 7. In lieu of an afterword. Right now, are you the head of the family according to your passport? Or are you that dad who can't even pick out meat in the eyes of your own children? The answer isn't in yelling or proving your point. The answer lies in one day, calmly in the supermarket, saying, I will decide what we're having for dinner tonight. Trust me, and not wavering. This story is part of the Unspoken Connection project. We explore the moments when silence becomes a wall and how people find the words to break it down. Subscribe if you want to hear not just the diagnosis, but the stories of those who have walked this path.